guys, Avery here with the Jiu-Jitsu Times. We are here in Melbourne, Australia at Absolute MMA in St. Kilda with Livia Giles. Livia is an awesome competitor. She was at ADCC this past year and has done a really great job building up the community here in Australia. So Livia is also, are you a physiotherapist, is that right? Yeah. So she is an expert in the art of rehab. And so Liv, can you just tell us a bit how your knowledge in that area has helped your jiu-jitsu career?
I think it's mainly knowing when to tap and when things are going to break, and knowing like which injuries are really sort of career threatening or not. And I guess like knowing the importance of actually like rehabbing from an injury. I haven't always been amazing because I guess I'm not always the best patient, and I do overtrain and sort of train through injuries. But when it is serious, I do know when to seek, another professional's help, like a sports physician or a surgeon, and to actually listen to them and really commit to rehab as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Liv is 35, believe it or not, and she's still killing it in the competition circuit. What would you recommend to other practitioners who want to keep training past what a lot of us would consider their prime?
It's sort of contradictory. I think to be the best competitor is not the healthiest way to go. So if you're just doing it as, like, for me, jiu-jitsu is about longevity, even though I haven't always trained like that. I want to be on the mats pretty much forever. And I think when you're getting ready for important competitions, that's not the way to go for longevity and for preservation and actually enjoying this sport for a really long time. But I think definitely I'm learning to listen to my body a lot more. Even the difference between now and like 2 years ago is quite remarkable in my recovery. So I am trying to just roll hard, like once a day or once every second day, and the rest of my rolls are either just drilling or specific training or just flow rolling with the lighter girls and just working on new skills. So I think developing your skill and not always going hard. In fact, going hard maybe should be like twice a week for an average person, if that, or just 1 or 2 rolls. And just making sure that if you don't know how to do something, you don't do it harder and faster, you actually slow down and think about what grips you want. And the other thing I've learned to say over the years is I tell people when they're not a good roll, especially bigger guys and girls, when they're going way too hard, I just stop now and just say, sorry, you're too big or too strong, or you're going too fast, I'm going to get hurt. Because in training, I'm not competing. So yeah, it is a lot about just preservation, making sure I can train the next day.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's necessary for people as they approach, 30 and beyond? Do you think it's necessary for them to compete in the Masters division, or do you think they can still be competitive in the adult divisions?
I really think it's dependent on the person, on the goals and the lifestyle. I've been lucky enough to have a job where I can really marry my job with my hobby, which is jiu-jitsu. I guess it's a bit more than a hobby now. So I'm able to train twice a day most days. I don't have kids, I don't have, like restrictions in my training time, and my body is, at the moment I'm not injured anyway. But I think if you're, 32 and you've got 2 or 3 kids and a full-time job, there's no shame in doing masters. I think if you can't keep up with the training and you're just getting smashed, I think there's nothing wrong with doing masters, and I would encourage that. In saying that, there are people who go to masters because they don't want to lose to adults when they have every ability to train. You're 31, you're training full time, you don't work. I would encourage you to do adults, because if you're looking specifically for competition results, as to put it on your resume, I think obviously masters doesn't carry quite as much weight as adult. But in saying that, if you can't train as much and you can't commit the time and you move a little bit slower, for sure do masters.
So Liv is a very proud natural athlete, meaning she doesn't take any sort of artificial supplements to enhance herself, as many other athletes are in today's jiu-jitsu age. So Liv, in saying that, for people who want to go on that path, what do you recommend so that they can still recover optimally?
It's a lot harder. Well, I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to. I've been a clean athlete since the age of 7, when I was a gymnast and then a sprint cyclist. I've been drug tested, in my other sports probably every month. And I guess jiu-jitsu, for the most part, and not everybody, is a little bit different from what I hear anyway. It's definitely harder to recover. So, I'm quite strong for my size, but that's because I generally lift 3 times a week and it makes me extremely exhausted. And as a result, my jiu-jitsu suffers because of it. But I sort of have to do it to keep up with my rehab and my injuries. So where I don't think I'm benefit from being natural is that I don't get to recover as well, and I don't get to train as much as I would like to develop my skill. And that's, jiu-jitsu is a skill-based sport. But of course, if you can be stronger and faster than everybody else, it's an advantage. I also think for most federations, unless it's written in the rules, it's cheating. So I don't like to cheat. That's my personal take on it. And the second point is that I don't want to do it because there are side effects that are quite severe, especially for women. So I'm just completely against it. And I've been able to keep up with younger people and being clean. So that's where I stand.
So guys, if you want to learn from Liv, she and another one of Australia's top athletes, Hope Douglas, are going to be doing a really awesome camp coming up here soon. Liv, do you want to tell us a bit about that?
So we're super excited. So not long ago, last year, I taught a camp with Luisa Monteiro, who's I think 4 or 5-time black belt world champion in Thailand. And basically, I've been looking up to her for many, many years. When I first started jiu-jitsu, I think she was a brown belt. So I've been following her for a long time, and she's always been extremely nice and extremely kind, which I think is really nice within the small jiu-jitsu community of competitors. And her jiu-jitsu is amazing. She's probably one of the best passers in the world out of the women. We taught a camp together, and I said, I definitely want to train with you more because I want to learn. Hope is now based out of Melbourne as well, and we get to train pretty much on the daily, and she's an absolute killer as well. She's like just broken through the black belt scene, and so it's going to be the 3 of us teaching. We've already got a lot of brown belts, a lot of some black belts as well. We've got purple belts. We pretty much have every belt color, and the camp is designed to go through beginner to advanced. So there'll be lots of technique, but also a lot of rolling, because that's what we want to get out of it as well. Just roll and train. And I think what's really powerful is seeing, for other women who might be new to the sport, is seeing the black belt women train together. And it's not always a competition. We're learning from each other. We're not scared to submit each other and pass each other's guards. It's a really good vibe between the 3 of us. We train really, really hard, and then we high-five each other and go and have a drink afterwards. And I think it's really powerful to see that, we roll with other black belts and we get beaten, or I get beaten anyway. I'm not sure that Hope and Louisa do it quite as much as I do, but I do, and it's amazing because I learn from that, and I think other girls seeing that as well doesn't make them feel so bad about themselves.
Guys, Liv has created an amazing culture here at Absolute MMA, especially among the other women. If you can go to this camp, please, please, please go. It is well worth the money. You're going to get some amazing training. So Liv, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see what you'll do next.
Thank you.